What's up, TikTok? Today I wanted to show you guys exactly how I set up my chart from beginning to end. It's like a 5-step process, a little bit more than that, but here it is. Hope it helps. For this example, we're going to be using US 30. Before you do anything, the first thing I do is go to Trading View and look at something called the heat map. The heat map basically indicates which stocks in US 30 are up, down, and it'll give it a color like red or, blah, 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 blah. But if you look at it overall, you could pretty much tell which way the market's going. Like for today, this is for today. It's majority green. Look at that, majority green. So if I wake up at 8:30 in the morning, right, getting ready to trade the New York session, and I go look at the heat map and it's majority green, I'm probably going to be looking for buys. Next, I'll go to this website called forexfactory.com. Forex Factory has all the news that's going to be occurring that day that might affect the markets. Here we are, Forex Factory. Click there. Boom. First thing you want to do is click today, then go to filters right here. See all these folders right here indicate how much will it affect the market. I don't care about these. I don't care about these, just these and these. So uncheck these and then select what you're trading. I don't trade yen, don't trade pound, don't trade euro, just USD for US 30. Then click apply filter. So as you can see here, Thursday, June 15th, here are the things that could have affected the market today, okay? So as you can see here, the things that mainly affect the market are green. They're up, except for this one and this one. So let's recap. I went to my heat map. Heat map's all green. I go check the news. News is positive. So with that information, my bias is for buys in the market today. Now here's the sauce. This is how I map out the charts and know where I'm going to be taking my buys, entries, things of that nature. Here it is, step by step. I always start off on my daily. On the daily, all I'm doing is drawing my trend lines. Go here, select trend line, and draw it from wick to wick. There we have it. From daily, I go down to the 1 hour chart. The 1 hour chart, I'm going to be looking for support and resistance areas, and this is how I find them. 1 hour. Now on the 1 hour where I'm going to find my support and resistance, I switch from bar charts to a line chart, and I'll show you why. So go from bar to line. I use the line chart because it's just easier to see the sharp moves in the market like this. So I'm going to grab my horizontal line or horizontal ray. Now all these points where the market had a shift, turn to the upside or the downside, put a line there, put a line there, put a line there, put a line there. So I have all my areas of interest or my support and resistance lines set up. Switch back from line to candles. So we went to the daily, trend, 1 hour, support and resistance. Now we go down to the 15-minute to find our supply and demand. If you don't know what supply and demand is, just go to YouTube, type in supply and demand and trade it in trading, and it'll come up. So change from 1 hour down to 15 minutes, right there. To find supply and demand areas, what you're looking for is the last green candle before reversing the market to the downside, or the last red candle before a reverse in the market to the upside. For instance, this area right here. So this candle right here would be the one that I would draw from wick to wick. We're going to grab this tool here, rectangle, and we're going to put it around the entire thing. Same thing here, last red candle before push to the upside. So we go from here all the way here. And now here's one to the downside. So I'll take this green candle and put my rectangle around it right there. All right, so now we have the trend line on the daily. On the 1 hour, we have our support and resistance. On the 15-minute, we have our supply and demand areas. Now we're going to look for areas of interest that we could enter the trade, okay? And now we go down to the 5-minute. Go from the 15-minute to the 5-minute. All right, now this represents 8:30 in the morning, which is usually when I wake up, and this is 9:30 when the market opens. Now, given all the information that I knew before the market opened, I know that I'm looking for buys, right? So between this time and the open, I see that the market's trending up and it's also in a demand area. So at around 9:30, this is what I would have done, or this is what you should do, knowing that you're taking buys. You trade from zone to zone. I'm going to show you. So we have this supply zone right here. We have a support right here. As you can see, bounced out, retest. As soon as I saw this retest, I would have put in my trade, okay? Not actually execute the trade, but put in the trade, okay? Long position. I would have put my position right here. My entry's right there at that yellow line. Adjust your stop loss depending on your risk tolerance. See, we could go right below this trend line right here. And then my take profit would be at the next zone, which would be this supply area. Or if you're feeling frisky, you could have that as TP1 and, let it ride. So if this first zone is TP1, this next zone would be TP2, TP3, and so on and so forth. Now, I hope that helped. But before I end my video, there's two main indicators I use. A lot of people use a shit ton of indicators. I don't. I use two indicators, and that's called the RSI, Relative Strength Index, and volumes. I'll make another video on how I use them and why, but that's it for now. You guys have a wonderful day. Hope that helped. Peace.